Alright, today we'll be doing a Goon guide. I don't know why I call her Goon, Guinaifen, right? Also, this design is so cool. It's a Yoimiya design, right? I like her attack animation a lot. Like, holy shit, the fire animation. That is so flashy. And of course, the fucking grenade, right? But yeah, alright. I like this character design a lot. The animation is really nice. I don't know why my overlay isn't showing emote. This is the emote my chat is spamming. Let's start with the thing that my chat hates the most, which is looking at my gear. So my current Goon build is 2700 attack, 161 speed, 100 break effect, and 65 effect hit rate. Currently, I'm running 2 HP, 2 speed, 2 Vaughn. I'm running attack, speed, fire damage, and attack, and I'll explain why later. The stat focus is just attack, hit rate, speed, break effect, right? Realistically. Let's talk about her skill set first. Let's go for the traces, yeah? This is Goon's main usage, right? Patreon benefits. When Guinaifen is on the field, there's a 100% chance to apply Fire Kiss state on an enemy that takes burn damage. TLDR, what this means is if an enemy takes damage from burning, they will take more damage from all sources. They'll get a debuff called Fire Kiss. This debuff is unremovable. This stacks up to 3 times, unless you have E6, which stacks up to 4 times, right? So, how I would describe Guinaifen gameplay is basically a Pela. She amplifies your team damage roughly around Pela level, weaker without Eidolon, and similar level and better uptime unless you have really cracked Pela, right? Goon basically makes enemy take 24 to 30% damage from all sources forever, unless she gets stunned for 3 turns, right? And this debuff is unremovable, so even if a boss die and changes phase, this debuff will still be on them. Even if they revive, this debuff will still be on them. It's basically a 20% damage up on all damage you deal, which is really fucking good, right? So her skill is quite simple. She does AoE damage and she applies a burn for 2 turns. It's okay. Her burn ratio is pretty high. It looks like it's pretty high, but the damage kind of ends up being okay-ish, maybe 7k, 10k damage. Her entire kit is focused around the Fire Kiss debuff, and her ultimate does AoE damage to all enemy and makes the burn trigger once. So she instantly triggered the burn on all enemies. So if you E into ult, you get 2 stack of Fire Kiss basically, right? So that's just her gameplay, right? Which is one of the reasons why I would say you don't realistically need energy recharge unless you're planning to spam shield break on her, which is still good. Her ult doesn't really do much aside from the fact that it stacks up Fire Kiss faster. Her entire skill set is just stacking Fire Kiss, right? She has pretty mediocre, decent damage, but she has other utility, right? That's her gameplay. The only problem is if enemies sneeze at her, she's dead. Yes, that is true. She has some very weak and squishy stats. She's very squishy. She actually have kind of 0 defensive stats, which is kind of sad. But yeah, that is TLDR for Goon, right? So for traces, level 20 trace, this is one of the other reasons why, right? You don't need ER on her. Her basic attack has an 80% chance to apply a burn as strong as her skill. So realistically, you only ever have the basic attack and skill on her, and it will still apply the Fire Kiss stack anyway, so you don't really care about your ult that much unless you want to kill a lot of trash mobs, right? Bladed Hoop, this is kind of meaningless, to be honest. This allows her to stack up her thing faster, I suppose, but it's only at the start of battle. And you do 20% more damage to burnt enemy. It's all damage dealt, right? So for trace priority, I would say just go for skill first and then talent and then ult. Yeah, she does have break effect traces and she gets a lot of break effect as well. Hence why I built kind of a decent amount of break effect on her, right? Wait, I just forgot. My chat want me to do this, right? Alright boys, break effect is the stat I go for Goon because break effect on fire is decent, but only if you're clearing trash mobs, right? Maybe you can do 500k break on Swarm Sim Universe, but otherwise than that, break effect on fire, I would say it's the 4th or the 3rd strongest break. I would say physical and quantum break are better. So her having break effect here is okay. Once again, for trace, you go for skill, talent, ult, and get all the other traces in order. You can kind of ignore this one, but might as well, right? Relic set, you go for maybe 2 fire, 2 speed. Break also works, right? Or if you dream, maybe wait 17 days. And for planner ornament, you can run for the effect hit rate one. This is fine. This is good. You can run for the effect hit rate one, or you can run for the regen one, or you can run for the attack one, right? HP one also works if you want more utility. Honestly, like, you can use this as well. If you have 30 resistance on your Goon, you can use this to buff as well. Break effect one also works. Yeah, Goon has a lot of choices. Goon can basically use everything, right? You can use this as well if you want to be tanky. Other than that, her stat priority is quite simple. I would suggest running attack, speed, fire damage, and attack. You can run effect hit rate if you don't have enough effect hit rate, basically. Effect hit rate on Guinaifen is you only need 67 effect hit rate. You need less because you probably only need like 40 realistically because her burn lasts 2 turns anyways, and Fire Kiss state cannot be removed. So you probably get away with 40 to 50, but I would still run higher because I just want to stack this as soon as possible, right? She's a very straightforward character. I like character designs that are like, okay, this is what they do, focus on that, rather than like become God, you know? So what do they do? Yes. So what do they do? Yes. I feel like straightforward characters are better. For now, at least. Obviously, I like more complicated character, you know? For Lightcone, let's start with 5-star. Well, Lightcone increase damage if enemy is debuffed and increase the wearer effect hit rate and attack when they use their skill. I'm pretty sure this only affects the direct damage of your throw and not the damage over time. Unless this is the same wording with Himiko, then it's also 24% damage on the burn. This is only on hit damage, right? Not the damage over time. So you only really use this for the effect hit rate. I wouldn't say this is too useful. It's a lot of good stats though. Kafka 1, increased damage dealt by wearer. This also affects damage over time. Increased speed, obviously. If you have this Lightcone, you're probably not using this on your Guinaifen. You're using this on your fucking Kafka, okay? If you somehow have 2 of this Lightcone, then sure, use it on Guinaifen and use it on Kafka. But this is probably the best 5-star one for Goon. Incessant Rain, effect hit rate, crit rate. This is very specific. I would say, I still think to this day, this Lightcone is only good if you have like a high Eidolon Silver Wolf. At least the crit rate part is unusable, right? The Aether Coat part is usable. If you're manual battling and you time your ult to your DPS, then this is good. This is not good against level 90 enemies because they're always faster than your DPS unless you have an Aster or some bullshit, right? The uptime of this is not good. Oh yeah, the Herta Shop Lightcone, right? Break effect, it increased break effect when the wearer uses their ultimate, increased damage over time, and when enemy with damage over time dies, you get energy. This is good as well. I would say for 5-star, I would go for Patient and then Solitary the Healing. For 4-star, I would say Eyes of Prey is the best. It gives you effect hit rate and it gets you damage on damage over time, right? This shit is just fucking amazing, right? 48% more damage over time and 40 effect hit rate. This is so good for a 4-star. Resolution, you have to time it with your ult on your Nihility character, so it's kind of rough. Good Night Sleep Well doesn't really do much on Goon because you don't really use Goon for her personal damage that much. You kind of use her for like more overall utility, which Eyes of Prey kind of makes her utility better because that also gives you effect hit rate, right? For Mata, it's alright, only for the break effect, but otherwise it's kind of ass. Before the tutorial begins, I would keep this on Pela or Silver Wolf, to be honest. For 4-star, I would go for Eyes of Prey and maybe Resolution for Lightcone, right? Her Eidolon names are fucking hilarious. Like, look, slurping noodles with handstand, brushing teeth while whistling, smashing boulder on chest, blocking pike with neck, swallowing sword to stomach, catching bullets with hands. She's the YouTube clickbait video. Holy, she can do what with her chest? Oh, catch these hands. Hello, Mr. Aizy. Alright, so for her first Eidolon, when you use her skill, you reduce enemy resistance by 10% for 2 turns. This kinda makes it so that you only really need like 50-40 hit rate on her. I would still run 67 hit rate because I kinda want the Fire Kiss debuff as soon as possible. Second Eidolon is when the enemy is burned, they take more damage on burn. Like, that's it. 40% is pretty fucking big, right? E3 is more on skill, and basic attack. E4 is when enemy takes damage from burns, he regenerates 2 energy. This also scales with energy recharge, but realistically, she doesn't really need it. E5 is ult and talent, which is pretty good. I think E5 is pretty up there. And E6 is instead of 3 stack of Fire Kiss, you get 4 stack. So instead of 24% damage up, you get 30. Yeah, pretty good. Hoyoverse not making wiki description? No way. Short and concise Eidolon and skill set? Is her skill set pretty easy? Oh, okay, it's fine. I guess it's pretty long still, but it's fine, right? Realistically, I would say E2 on Goon is what you would need on her. E1 for the resistance down, E2 for the damage. Like, before E2, her damage feels kind of meh. E6 if you want for more buffing, but E2 is where I would say Goon is in a pretty good slot. Goon is a decent damage dealer with a more focus on making enemies take more damage, right? Okay, I showed this already, but I like how like whenever I show my gear, people still think it's unholy. But I have a 2000 defense Tingyun with good speed, good attack, and good HP. So like, people still think I have 8 relic slots. Fucking 2000 defense Tingyun. I gave her the next support she needed. How are those relic looking? It's 0 wasted stat. I only have 2 wasted stat, which is break effect and effect resistance. The rest is just HP, attack, speed, HP, attack, speed, defense, HP, attack, speed, defense, HP, attack, speed, defense, HP, attack, speed, defense, HP, attack, speed, defense. So 0 crit stat, only 2 missing rolls. That's why my Tingyun is so tanky. While she already hit the soft cap for her attack buff, which is 2.6k attack, is already the soft cap for her attack buff anyways. You are so skilled. Yeah, very skilled. Can you play Guinaifen on a crit build? I wouldn't. I would not run her on a crit build. So how do I showcase Guinaifen? Do I run MOC 9 because it's a lot of AoE? And then I run MOC 10 as well. And maybe we can run a run of Swarm or something. Okay, so buff! Buff! Grenade! Grenade! Sex alarm! I mean, Happy New Year! Sorry, that emote is stuck in my head. Grenade! Like, as you can see, Guinaifen burn herself doesn't really do a lot of damage. But the fact that she's amplifying the damage of her team is what's making it good, right? Showcase the damage difference before or after? That is true. I should probably do that. Blade is probably super consistent for like damage difference tests, right? Let's go for a Blade, man. Let's start with normal. Let's see how much damage my Blade do normally. And then we can show you how much afterwards, right? She's too fast. Fuck. Let me hit this guy. Okay, let's see how much damage Blade do normally, okay? So that's 10,417 damage times 2 on a single target. So that's 20,834 on a single target, right? So if I grenade here, it's gonna apply stacks, right? How much Fire Kiss stack does it have? 2 Fire Kiss stack. So if I do this, that's 3 Fire Kiss stack, right? So that's 21% damage amplifier. Let's see how much Blade does. So 10,417 times 2 the first time. This is 12,698 times 2. We went from 21,000 damage to 25,000 damage with Goon buff. Almost 5,000 more damage, yeah. Now it has Gusto stack, so it's gonna take less damage, right? Gusto stack makes it very tanky. But I still do a lot of damage, right? I'm not looking at the total damage on the corner of the screen. I'm looking at the damage that's appearing onto the main guy itself. Realistically, Goon kind of gives your team like a lot of damage dealt, basically. Really, really good damage. 4 stack is only for Eidolon, right? But 3 stack is earlier. What you can see is the 3 stack that you get at E0. And the 3 stack amplified my Blade damage from 20k single target to 25k single target. So that's a 5k damage up. And that debuff lasts forever because it's unremovable, right? It's going to be unremovable, and unless your Guinaifen gets stunned 2 times in a row, that debuff is maintained forever for your team. So she does decent damage herself while giving your team a great amount of buff. Show the difference between Goon and Pela. I mean, I don't have talent too high up on Pela, right? My talent on Pela is level 8. Is that enough? I can show the difference, yeah, sure, why not? So let me do this so I don't accidentally buff the Blade. And now Pela can use her ult here. So defense reduction is on, right? It's 37% defense. Let's see how much my Blade can do. So 12,2,963 times 2. It's the same. Pela and Guinaifen kind of buff the same. That was 3 stack earlier as well. Guinaifen talent roughly gives you as much buffing as Pela would do. But the advantage is, I guess Pela getting her ult back is kind of... If you have this Lightcone on Pela, you have Perma ult. It doesn't fucking matter, right? But Guinaifen can just spam basic attack and skill. And she gets more personal damage on her own. However, her buff is slightly worse. Realistically, you can run a 0 relic Pela and that fucking works. works, right? Because you only need 67 hit rate and 140 speed, and that's all you need. I'd say I like Guinaifen because she's in a balanced state. She's not this or something, right? Or like these, right? I think she's in a balanced state. I like the design this way. I hope they keep the game more balanced in the future rather than like fucking giving a character 2,100 attack and 50 crit rate, 50 crit damage, 80 damage bonus, pay your taxes, do your tuition fees, and does everything in the world, right? But yeah, I like characters like this more. I feel like for a 4-star, she's one of the stronger 4-star. I feel like she's a good design character, pretty balanced. Roughly amplifies your damage as much as Pela would do. Her animation is better, let's say that. Oh, fuck, I forgot the most important part. I forgot to compare her to Sampo. Okay, so Sampo amplifies only damage over time, right? But by 32% with level 12 talent. Guinaifen amplifies damage by 31% if you have E6, right? And 24% if you don't. But it's for all damage dealt. So in a damage over time team, I would say Sampo has better performance than Guinaifen just because Sampo is really fucking good at breaking people's shield. It's still crazy. And if you guys didn't know, something disgusting happened if you have E4 Sampo. E4 Sampo makes Sampo does as much single target damage as a 5-star DPS. The fucker will hit for 30k, 25k, which is like in a single target scenario, an E4 Sampo is kind of nasty. And also he breaks shield really fast, right? So damage over time team wise, I would say I would still pick Sampo over Guinaifen, but Guinaifen is cuter, so fuck you, right? All right, boss time, boys. I think I start with grenade just so that it applies quicker because like the fucking fire kiss state is never gonna expire anyway. So I start with grenade. Yeah, it's never gonna expire. It's permanent, right? Hell yeah. It's already 4 fire kiss stack on, so it's permanent anyways. Already 82 suspicion stack. Nah, it's fucking Nihility run. This shit is easy. This shit is easy. It's Nihility run. Who cares about disruption, right? I don't know. I feel like for some reason the Nihility resonance allows them to have infinite turns, which is kind of fucking hilarious. Everything is meaningless. Oh wow, that did like 0 damage.
Stand still.
The fucking break effect is great as well. The energy from the dot is also busted. Yeah. Like my team is just spamming ults. They're just spamming it. How many fucking debuff does the guy have? Like, what the hell? Burn, suspicion, burn, the void, confusion, bleed, burn, wind shear, shock, fire kiss, shock, frozen, shock, wind shear, frozen, roll, vulnerability, slurping noodles during handstand. Bro, like, Jesus Christ. And another burn. slurping noodles. Fucking hell, man. The Eidolon name. It's E1 Goon. It's E1 Guinaifen debuff. That's a very specific. I think I did a pretty good job showcasing her. Like, the damage difference between her buff, non-buff, her buff versus Pela. I think that's good. I think that was fine. Blade damage goes from 20k to 25k. Like with Guinaifen or with Pela, right? It's a good amount of damage buff while doing damage herself. So I think it's good. Explode. Is there a new stage? There's a new stage? What is this? Fire, lightning? Sure, go ahead. 55,000 points. Okay, go team! Holy fuck, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage.
Time to say bye. Boom.
I think it's dead. It's 1 HP already.
Stand still.
Tree guy.
Boom.
Look at that damage. Look at those dots. Nihility run 100% lacks your game. It's Kafka against Kafka. That guy's dead. Holy fuck.
How does that feel?
No, Kafka dominated. I got an achievement for that. Self-hypnosis? Fucking self-hypnosis? Dominate yourself? XDD, I guess. I too would hypnotize myself if I was Kafka. I see. No, in prison. She's dead. Oh, okay. If I AoE here, it's gonna look really good if I AoE here. Come on, Kafka. AoE this. Lag my game, Kafka. Do it. There you go. I feel the lag there. You guys feel the lag that I just felt? Yeah, I saw that lag. Oh, mega lol. Oh, this might actually kill Goon if they all target Goon. Oh, it targets Tingyun. It's fine. Why did I have to say that? Here come Kafka. Oh, to lag my game again. My game is going to explode. Alright, who is he gonna kidnap? Who is he going to kidnap? Okay, no one. I think the hand is gonna die.
Time to say bye.
Time to say bye. Explode my game. Another hand already? Bro, the hand doesn't do anything. The hand is just gone. It's gone. He's dead. He's dead. The hand is just gone. I hecking love Nihility. Nihility perfectly captures gacha game. Everything is meaningless. Oh no. Who do you think is gonna be the fucking hardest Aeon? Because I'm sure that Nihility is gonna be the hardest Aeon. Because the lore of the Swarm event is like, Nihility doesn't care if the universe is invaded by the Swarm. Because in the end, the Swarm will turn into Nihility anyway. It's gonna disappear, right? They're just gonna disappear. Alright, fuck. That's a 2-hour VOD for my editor. I'm sorry, Mr. Editor.